Hey everybody, welcome to Your Beautiful Table. Your Beautiful Table is a website and a YouTube channel all about helping you make your table beautiful. And today I've got a candle review. I'm going to review the pumpkin pie candle from Bath & Body Works, so stay tuned. Thanks everybody for coming back. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I've got a lot of other candle reviews coming at you. I'm moving, and so I wanted to bring these to you before I packed up my candles and hit the road. And so I'm going through a lot of candle reviews. This channel will offer a lot of other things about tabletop decor, so consider subscribing if you like that kind of content. So I've got my co-host here, Sammy, and Buddy's in another chair, and so they're helping me do the video today. Let me bring this pumpkin pie candle up to you so you can see it up close. So the pumpkin pie candle is from Bath & Body Works. It's a 14.5 ounce candle. It features 25 to 35 hours of burn time, and you can see I've burned it halfway through, but the wax pool on this has been almost to about right here. So I got a good deep wax pool that was almost more than a half an inch. So the pumpkin pie candle features this pumpkin pie label with the sort of copper sort of ribbon there and a little brass or gold leaf accents around. I've got puppies crying behind me. 3-wick candle, which is a classic from Bath & Body Works, and it's burned pretty cleanly. You can see there's a little bit of a pop there from the wicks and then a little bit of residue, but overall it's burned pretty well. This candle didn't have a lot of soot or smoke when I burned it, but you can see the wax discolored just a little bit from the toasted pumpkin color, and it's a little bit darker here, but nothing bad. There's not any, I haven't been able to see any swirling or black swirls or scorching of the wax there. You can see the wicks are sort of these rope type wicks that were nice and robust, and that meant that, are you sleepy, Sammy? And that meant that the wax pool formed really quickly, and it had a nice deep wax pool, and so it put out a reasonable amount of fragrance. I'll share with you that this candle, I don't know if I'm if the pumpkin scent isn't as pervasive or like nose tickling or if it was just more subtle, but this one had decent throw. I could smell it throughout the downstairs of my home, but it didn't have a lot of fragrance intensity. The other thing that I experienced with this candle is that, and let's talk about the fragrance notes for a second, is that it didn't have a lot of nuance to the candle. The pumpkin pie candle fragrance notes are creamy pumpkin, vanilla cream, fresh ground nutmeg, graham cracker crust, and graham cracker crust. So I think this candle smells really great on cold. I can get the creamy pumpkin, yes. I'm not a big vanilla fan, but what this does smell is like bakery. It has the ground nutmeg that you'd expect from a pumpkin pie candle. It really does smell like pumpkin pie. It's almost like, ugh, so good you could eat it. It's not as sweet as I would have expected. There's been like pumpkin latte candles or the pumpkin spice latte types of candles have been sweeter than this. And so, I don't like an overly sweet candle. And so if you don't like an overly sweet candle but are looking for like a pumpkin bakery or pumpkin gourmand candle, this one might be one for you. Now, I think this smells better on cold than it does burning. And so on cold, it has a nice scent bubble. I can smell it, from a foot or so around. Oh, by the way, the lid has this nice pumpkin on the top, which is kind of fun. But when I'm burning this candle, I don't get all the nuance from the fragrance that I smell on cold. So it gets strong pumpkin, and it almost smells like, I want to say like burning wax. And so that's not a great fragrance note. And I just don't know if it is the candle, like the scent of the pumpkin and the bakery that are just like that breaded graham cracker crust note that are just not jiving in the air. But this one smells better on cold than it does when it's burning. And so I was a little bit disappointed with the fragrance blend when I was burning the candle. It's delicious on cold. And so it was a little bit disappointing that I didn't get that experience when it got into the air. I will share with you that there's a little bit of smoke here, but not too much. But it was good because the candle wicks were so large, they were able to melt the wax pool quickly, and so you didn't have to wait a long time to get the full fragrance intensity. So overall, I think this one is a miss or a pass. I probably won't do another pumpkin pie unless they reworked the format because A, I'm not a huge bakery or gourmand candle fan, and B, when this one was burning, it had some sort of like sub notes that weren't as appealing as other pumpkin candles that I've enjoyed this fall. Like the pumpkin patch candle from Scentworks smells great on the first couple of burns. It had puny wicks and sort of poor wax performance, but it did, the fragrance is better than this. And so there may be a pumpkin pie candle that you might like better. So here's the thing, friends. If you had a pumpkin pie candle or a pumpkin, like a sweet pumpkin candle that you've enjoyed this fall that you like to recommend to others, please leave it in a comment below. I'm sure they'd love to hear from you about which pumpkin bakery or gourmand or pumpkin pie candles you found that you like this fall. Hey, thanks everybody for watching. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing so you don't miss anything, and we'll see you next time.